Welcome to the New York State Council on the Arts 2025 State of the Arts Fellowship Informational Webinar. I am Abby Adler, Chief of Staff of NYSCA.
And I'm Mika Chang, NYSCA's Artist Fellowship Consultant. We will also hear from Anna Scaife from the Office of General Services, Julie Burton, Office of Mental Health, and Melinda Williams, Office of Victim Services. We are delighted to share more information about the inaugural State of the Arts Fellowship and hope this webinar will encourage you to apply.
The NYSCA 2025 State of the Arts Fellowship was announced by Governor Hochul in June 2025. The State of the Arts Fellowship will embed selected New York State artists for year-long residencies beginning in fall 2025. We are immensely grateful to Governor Hochul and our state legislature for their investment in the arts this year. Administered by NYSCA, the fellowship will bring artists and state government together to foster community connection, enhance public spaces, and amplify vital public service initiatives. The inaugural placements are Office of General Services, OGS, Office of Mental Health, also known as OMH, and the Office of Victim Services, known as OVS. Through a collaborative process, Artist Fellows will work closely with the agencies to address pressing issues and implement projects that leave a lasting impact on communities across New York. Before we begin, I'd like to clarify that this opportunity is separate from the NYSCA FY 2026 Support for Artists opportunity, which provides grants for creative artistic projects. You can go to the NYSCA website for more information on our other funding opportunities.
The Artist Fellowship will embed 3 selected artists within 3 state agencies, OGS, OMH, and OVS, for a year-long residency beginning in the fall of 2025. Each artist will receive up to $60,000, which will be divided between the research phase, up to 6 months, and the project implementation phase, which is the balance of the 12 months.
Listed up on the screen are some important dates to keep in mind, and I'd like to specifically highlight the application deadline of July 8th at 5 p.m. and the fellowship start date of September 3rd, 2025. In our next 3 slides, we will introduce our fellowship host agencies, and they will give brief overviews of their work and their calls for artists. First, I would like to welcome Anna Scaife from the Office of General Services. Anna?
Hi, I'm Anna Scaife, Associate Commissioner for Policy and Planning at the New York State Office of General Services. OGS is a diversified organization that provides a broad spectrum of services to state agencies, local governments, and the public. As stewards of one of New York's great cultural hubs, the Empire State Plaza, OGS looks forward to working collaboratively with NYSCA and the Artist Fellow to further the governor's goal of using the arts as a catalyst to energize and connect communities. The OGS Artist Fellow will address revitalizing the Empire State Plaza through creative, community-focused programming. OGS seeks a visionary Artist Fellow to revitalize the Empire State Plaza as a vibrant cultural hub. Originally designed by Nelson Rockefeller as the Capital Region's cultural heart, the plaza houses one of the finest collections of public modern American art. In partnership with NYSCA, the Artist Fellow will develop an innovative plan to strengthen community ties. By introducing fresh programming, the Artist Fellow will highlight Albany's downtown and promote inclusivity, education, and cultural vitality. The unique fellowship offers a chance to shape the future of this iconic site, ensuring it remains a dynamic center for arts and culture in New York.
Thank you so much, Anna. And now I'd like to welcome Julie Burton from the Office of Mental Health.
Hi, I'm Julie Burton. I'm the Chief Recovery and Resilience Officer for the Office of Mental Health. OMH directly operates inpatient, outpatient, and residential services through its psychiatric centers across New York State. Through our work, OMH promotes the mental health of all New Yorkers, with a particular focus on providing hope and recovery for adults with serious mental illness and children with serious emotional disturbances. OMH seeks a compassionate and innovative Artist Fellow to harness the transformative power of art in reshaping perceptions of mental health. OMH stands at the forefront of providing hope and recovery through its extensive network of psychiatric centers, community programs, and prevention and awareness efforts. Through engagement with individuals in inpatient facilities, the fellow will create art and a vision that highlight resilience and personal stories, fostering understanding and empathy. This fellowship supports OMH's mission to destigmatize mental health, promote recovery, and encourage broader acceptance and access to care. The artist's work will inspire healing, empower participants, and help integrate mental health awareness into the community.
Thank you so much, Julie.
Next, I would like to welcome Melinda Williams from the Office of Victim Services. Melinda?
Thank you. I'm Melinda Williams, the Deputy Director of Operations and Program Development at the New York State Office of Victim Services, or OVS. OVS has a three-tiered mission: to provide compensation to victims of crime, their family members, and other eligible individuals in a timely, efficient, and compassionate manner, to fund direct services to victims of crime and their families through a network of programs across New York State, and to advocate for the rights and benefits of all victims of crime. The OVS Fellow will work with underserved populations to reduce barriers to accessing services under the Fair Access to Victim Compensation Act. This act goes into effect December 2025 and broadens victim compensation eligibility to support underserved populations. The fellow will develop innovative outreach strategies to connect with marginalized communities facing systemic barriers, working with OVS and partners to overcome misinformation and ensure access to services. Through creative engagement, the artist will foster lasting dialogue and enhance public understanding of OVS's role in empowering victims and survivors across New York State.
Thank you to all of our host agencies. In this next section, we will go through different parts of the application and review details about the application.
Here are a few important application resources. Everything you need to know about how to apply is located in this slide, including the link to the guidelines and the application portal, and also the best email to reach us with any and all questions, which is artistfellows@ny.gov.
Your first step in the application process is to determine eligibility. To be eligible to apply, you must be 18 or older and be a resident of New York State and/or resident in one of the tribal nations located therein. You must be eligible to work in New York State. You must be a solo artist, no artist collectives. Artist fellow applicants should have demonstrated experience with social engagement through artistic practice. An applicant must not be enrolled in any academic program during the residency, and applicants may only apply to a single host agency call. Please review all the details that are listed in our guidelines.
So how does one apply for this opportunity? All applications must be submitted via Alchemer. The link for this is included in the guidelines and is on the NYSCA State of the Arts Fellowship website page. Please note that fiscal sponsors are not required. The application is 17 questions long, and the first section includes questions on basic applicant information, artistic discipline, which you can select from a drop-down menu, and a drop-down menu to select the host agency for which you are applying.
Application questions continued. They're framing questions or area of inquiry. What resonates with you about the host agency you selected, and what framing question would you hope to address during the fellowship? Statement of interest. How does your previous work relate to your framing question or area of inquiry? An artistic statement. Describe your artistic practice.
We are also going to ask you to upload a PDF of your resume and upload PDFs of proof of residency documentation. We'll also ask you to include at least 2 references. You'll also need to upload a single PDF of work samples, which can include any of the following: up to 5 digital images of recent work, include descriptions for each of those photos. You could also include URL links for video or audio samples, and we ask that you include no more than 3 links. The maximum length is 3 minutes, and links cannot be password protected and must remain live until December 31st, 2025. Make sure to include a description of each project with that link. And then for literary projects, you can submit samples no longer than 4 pages of scripts, poetry, prose, or other relevant materials.
How is my application evaluated? Artist Fellow applications will be reviewed by the host agency and NYSCA. The applications will be reviewed for completeness, eligibility, and quality. Some examples of what we look for are clarity of response to the host agency solve for question and the relevance of the applicant's prior work. More details can be found in the guidelines.
And now for some Q&A. Okay, Mika, when is the application deadline?
The applications are due on Tuesday, July 8th, 2025 at 5 p.m.
And I have some more questions. Who do I send those questions to?
Please send your questions to artistfellows@arts.ny.gov.
And Mika, I don't have any experience working with a government agency. Will my application still be considered?
Yes, prior experience working with government is not a requirement. Can I apply to more than one State of the Arts Fellowship open call?
No. Artists may only apply to one open call with one of the 3 host agencies.
Can I still apply if I am a fiscal year 2025 Support for Artists recipient?
Yes, you absolutely can still apply.
Can I apply to the NYSCA fiscal year 2026 Support for Artists opportunity and the State of the Arts Fellowship?
Yes, you can apply for both, but please note that these funds are not interchangeable.
Can I maintain other employment while performing the duties of the fellowship?
Yes, as long as the fellowship funds are not used for non-fellowship associated costs, there are no restrictions for your additional employment. So Mika, how long is this fellowship period?
The State of the Arts Fellowship is a one-year initiative hosted by the selected state agencies and administered by NYSCA. State of the Arts Fellowship agreements are for a one-year commitment, and NYSCA and the host agency's financial commitment is for 1 year only.
Can grant funding be paid to an artist's LLC, limited liability company, limited liability partnership, an LLP, or a business corporation?
No. The fellowship award can only be paid to the artist fellow in their personal capacity, subject to a 1099 issued to the artist fellow's social security number, against which the artist fellow may be entitled to claim expenses on Schedule C.
And Mika, can an artist apply at any level of their career?
Yes, we welcome applications from all artists from any stage of their careers. Some key dates to remember. The guideline and applications open on June 5th, 2025, and the application deadline is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025 at 5 p.m.
Thank you all so much for watching this webinar. Please reach us with any questions you might have, and we look forward to receiving your applications.